Hi, this is Newt with a minute of medicine for your mind. Remember the Pittsburgh Steelers powerhouse team of the 70s and the 80s? Well, the head coach Chuck Noll used to make their star quarterback Terry Bradshaw study leadership principles by people like Zig Ziglar. And what they would do on film day is he would have to sit with Chuck and talk about those leadership principles and how they can implement them on the field. You see, Chuck understood, even though he was the overall leader of the team, that in the heat of the game, Terry Bradshaw was the leader. So he needed to make sure that Terry knew he was the leader, and he needed to develop the leader in him so he knew how to lead. You see, what I'm trying to say to you today, it's real simple, see? The true purpose of leadership is not to develop followers, but it's to develop leaders. You see, if you develop followers, then you'll add to your mission and your vision, but if you develop leaders, you'll multiply exponentially your vision and your mission. You'll get not just your intellectual power, but you'll get the intellectual resources of those that you've empowered to be leaders and those that they're going to empower to be leaders. Now, Jesus had a great commission in front of him to change the world, but he only chose 12 disciples. Why would he choose quality over quantity? Well, he understood something that all great leaders do, is that you don't get a lot of chances to impact things and you don't get a lot of time to do it. So what he did was he took those 12 and by example, he created leaders in them. He taught them his principles. He taught them, his vision, and he implanted all of them, and he taught them to lead others. So that's what they did. And they taught others to lead others, and they taught others to lead others. And his leadership principle must have impacted things greatly because he split time in two, hence BC and AD. So my point is this, we're all leaders, we all have a purpose, and whether we're leading others or leading ourselves, I'm challenging you, I'm encouraging you to develop other leaders. That way you expand your mission and make sure it's there after you leave. If not, and you choose to develop followers, the only thing that you're adding to is yourself. This is Newt with a minute of medicine for your mind.